All right, we are here at Bay Hill for the Arnold Palmer Invitational presented by MasterCard. Arnie Spirit permeates all throughout the grounds here. We're really excited to walk around, get to talk to some players, see the vibes, and should be a fun day here in Orlando. Let's go. All right, we're in Florida. It's Florida swing time. We're at the Arnold Palmer Invitational at Bay Hill. I haven't been here in a while. I'm very much looking forward to it. Xander's back this week. Scotty's playing this week. Rory's got a really rich history here. Should be a really, really fun weekend. It's finally nice and warm. Florida. I gotta worry less so about layers and more so about the pit sweat. Feeling better? Good. We got our first look of the year at some crispy Bermuda. This is different.
Championship right here.
This is grainy. This is an amateur's worst nightmare. And these greens will probably be the fastest they've played all year. So this is one of the more interesting swings on the PGA Tour. Justin Lauer kind of dives toward it with his left shoulder in the backswing. See that? See this one? You don't see that very often. Shane's sneaky developing into one of the guys with the biggest entourages on tour. There's more.
I'm like a dicky Matsuyama here with all the clubs I have.
You're playing fine. Why are we testing everything for?
Driving the ball badly.
Are you?
My driver's broken.
Broken?
Yeah, hitting it too hard.
Ah. Tee up a little Chris Kirk action. I feel like we're in a real tempo mode right now. This is syrupy. This is the syrup king. Some speed on that. This is an interesting drill. He seems to be hitting like half-speed drivers. See that? That's like half speed. Interesting. We got Brian Campbell, who beat Aldrich Potgieter in the playoff and was giving up 30 miles per hour of ball speed and like 40 yards off the tee. Look at how deep that is. It's not going to be 20 under this week, I promise you that. If they get any sort of moisture, like rain tomorrow, whew. This is a pretty tight little walking area. That's because it's not a walking area. How do you feel about going around that thing? Okay. I think we should go over there.
There's no way.
Let's go see what's going on over at 16. See what I'm saying though? There used to be bunkers short right there.
That's where Tiger plugged.
That's where Tiger plugged, exactly right. So it used to be like as long as you covered the water, you just had to not mishit it. That right side's way tougher now.
Yeah.
When I think of Florida, that's what I think of.
Just a giant screened in pool.
Yeah, the meshed in situation. Drill you were doing on the range, like you were hitting like 3/4 drivers. Is that like a stinger that you're working on for the week, or is that just a drill?
Just a drill. Finau had a stick under my chin, like a club, so it helps me like keep my height, and I try and turn my shoulder under the club. So it gives me like a full turn while keeping my height, because I lose my height, and then I can't hit a full driver doing it because I can't do it. So it's just a 3/4.
How are you, Rick? You don't recognize me?
You ninja, just
What do you mean?
hit up on me.
Well, I was standing there the whole time. You didn't see me?
I'm focused on my student.
Yeah, fair.
Okay?
You're carrying the TrackMan really nice.
Change.
Right.
So I don't, my biceps
Well, I've been
don't-
doing.
One bite doesn't get bigger.
I got a tonal in my house. You know what those are? How sick are they? So I've been doing a lot of this. They call it the luggage stretch, the luggage exercise, so that when you're picking up luggage at the airport,
Where all the trophies.
Yeah, me. You know me, trophy machine. I saw Tom Kim today. Are they like taking a little prop plane over there? I saw all those guys were here, like Billy and.
Billy says he's driving.
How far is that drive?
2.5.
You won't see that many balls curved that much. That's wild.
Dan, we're in Florida,
We're in
which
Florida.
means we're gonna get some Florida golf.
Yeah. So when we were in California, what you saw on the, kind of the horizon is barrancas, canyons, the ocean. What we see here is houses. So you don't want to hit it over because you're going to be paying for somebody's window. This rough is so juicy, and they got some rain this morning. So this stuff was already nasty when it was dry. When it's wet, you don't want to hit it there. You just don't want to hit it there. For me, this is the most Bay Hill tee box for two reasons. Number one, you got to hit over this road right here. This is definitely not where the members tee off from because that's top city right into a Mercedes. But also the double tee box. A little bit of musical chairs going on. hitting it?
Well, it was a dream come true there for
I was
a
going
while.
to say, you guys played 9 holes really fast.
I know, it was
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
I was loving these guys. Hi, I'm Adam Scott. Come play a hole with me.
So one thing I was always really self-conscious with my golf swing is my posture. And I was like, I feel like I'm always chasing Adam Scott posture. And he told me not to chase your posture.
No,
because
I
he
know.
said you line it up off the heel,
Right.
and so you move backwards.
Uh-huh.
So he told me to get a little bit more.
Yeah,
You
that's
took
actually.
a couple lessons from him, didn't you?
I did. That's
Yeah.
actually why I went to see him, because I saw him probably on YouTube, and he said something along those lines like, everyone likes Adam Scott's posture. I don't like his posture. I don't like my posture either. So I'm like, maybe I need to go and see George. And we spent a little bit of time together a few years ago, and I enjoyed that and learning some stuff. And
He's so funny. He
Yeah.
cracks me up. He sits in his lawn chair. He's got his assistant who's like standing behind you. He's like basically smelling your farts.
that's right.
Yeah. Do you, I mean, I know you've worked with Butch in the past. You've had, different swing coaches. Do you like to just hear different ideas?
Not really. No, I mean, I worked with Butch for 10 years, then I worked with Brad Malone for 10 or 12 years, really. I feel like now at this point, my swing is my swing, and I just need to kind of know my tendencies and have someone understand that as well.
I feel like you manage to get faster every year as you get older. You got like some sort of supplement routine that you want to put me on to?
I can't tell you on camera. I'm trying to stay relevant is just honestly what it is. I'm seeing the game change so quickly. Specifically the last 5, I would say the game's really changing quick, and I like looking at trends and stuff. I don't always follow them necessarily, but I like looking at the trends and seeing what's happening. It's become a speed game, and generally that's a young guy's game. I'm seeing 40 pluses struggle on tour more than before quickly, because there's a bunch of mid-20s doing way better. And I think it's all kinds of things, technology, data, training, everything. It's shifting a little younger for peak performance.
I always had a take, and I'm curious to hear if you agree, that Tiger would have won even more if the equipment, and guys like you would have won even more if the equipment didn't change, because it sort of leveled the playing field. You can swing harder now with driver than you used to be. Is that a fair assessment?
Yeah, it's hard to get to the end result of like whether that would have happened, but I do agree. I think the big thing for me is like the driver went from being always the hardest club to hit in the evolution of the game to now it's the most forgiving club in the bag. Almost everyone can get it off the tee now. It's not that big of a skill.
Yeah.
Although, Rory is for sure like my favorite driver of the golf ball. It's awesome. I think everyone has an advantage.
Well,
like I
feel
remember duck hooks a lot when I'm watching duck hooks and skies and stuff, and that just doesn't happen anymore.
I feel like the inside of the ball cut, like the push cut, everyone's hitting that now. Like these young kids can hit it like 190 ball speed swing out of their shoes, and it just doesn't curve that much.
Yeah, it's changed so much, and like I said, I'm trying to adapt to that. So some of my natural game doesn't like any of that. Like the way my impact, I'm very like shallow, but almost I learned to hit down on the ball. That was good 25 years ago. It's not
Keep it
really,
straight.
Yeah, it's not really good today.
Yeah. What's it like being in those meetings with Trump and Yasser and Tiger and Jen? There's a lot of big personalities.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's wild where it's all come to. I mean, the game of golf, actually.
That you didn't think you were getting into that sort of meeting.
Definitely did not think that. As a golf lover, I'm passionate about the game. I'm passionate about the tour and everything, and I want it to be in a good spot. I don't think I'm solving the game's problems, but as a representative of the players, I think I have a good perspective on things, along with Tiger, and I respect Tiger so much that he does deserve a say in how competitive pro golf landscape looks going forward. I think he's earned that right.
Good number though.
Yeah.
The one hole width continues. They make birdie every time we come out here, Johnny. Every time we come out here. All right, we've walked a couple holes, and here's what I'll say. I'm glad I'm not playing this golf course. It is windy, the rough is long, the rough is wet. The good news is I don't have to play. The best players in the world are the ones who are playing, so they'll be able to handle it. Me, not so much. So I saw a very interesting stat this morning. There's only 2 past champions in the field, Rory McIlroy and Scotty Scheffler. Why? Tiger Woods won this tournament like 27 times. He's not playing. Bryson DeChambeau won this tournament. He's not playing. Matt Every won this tournament. He's not playing. He's announcing, I think. And Phil Mickelson won this tournament, and he is obviously not playing. Only 2 past champs in the field. I would be willing to bet that there is no other tournament on the PGA Tour where there are only 2 past champions in the field. Tony Finau, good athlete. Not as good an athlete as the rest of the guys. We got Vince Carter, Kyle Rudolph, and the kid, Ken Griffey Jr. What a group. Look at Griffey over there. This has got to be the most athletic Pro-Am group I've ever seen.
It's the most athletic. You don't even have to count me.
You got Griffey,
That's right.
Vince, Kyle Rudolph.
I mean, he made it!
Right after the camera stopped rolling, of course.
Dan, how's it going?
How are
Kyle
you?
Rudolph.
Good to meet you.
Good to meet you.
Those hands just emasculated me. I just felt so small just now.
Redemption on the last hole.
How are you?
Well, how about yourself?
All good, man. All good. About to shoot a little one-hole width with Tony,
There we go.
so it's all going to be good. How you hitting it?
Everybody usually makes it.
Yeah.
Mostly good.
Mostly good.
Mostly good. I'm Tony Finau. Come play a hole with me.
Definitely right of the bunker.
Yeah. Huh? I can't believe that. Yeah. How many guys? 800? 8?
Yeah.
$800
Nice
putt.
putt, dude.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Golly. Right as we were walking off, cameras went off.
There's no evidence.
Sorry, dude. I'm not saying it don't count, but
So you guys just had your 6th child.
that's right.
Do you have a favorite?
Well, hey, why don't you scoot along there? This way, so I can
You
tell
gotta
who
answer
my
the
favorite
question.
kid is.
Oh.
No, it's hard. It's hard to have a favorite. You love them all. You love them all the same, but you love them all differently as well. It's the same but different, I guess.
So I'm one of 4, and my
Yeah.
dad always used to say, "You're my favorite younger son. You're my favorite older son."
Exactly.
But you got to even get more specific with your adjectives. 'Cause
I
you
do.
have so many.
I got 6, so yeah. You love them the same but different, I guess.
You think you're gonna have some more?
It's not out of the realm of reality.
It's possible.
It's possible. I don't think it's gonna happen, but it's possible. We could have 7. My wife and I, we sacrificed early,
Yeah.
and once we got COVID, was like a blessing in disguise. We experienced COVID together for like 13 weeks. The tour was off.
Yeah.
My wife and I haven't been around each other at that point in our marriage for maybe more than 2 weeks at a time, and that's no
So
exaggeration.
she wasn't traveling before that.
She wasn't traveling, and when she did, it was after a few weeks. Nice shot. After a few weeks, I'd be on the road, then she would come out for a week. And like, I honestly can say, before COVID, I don't think my wife and I spent more than 2 weeks together.
It's crazy.
Ever.
Your whole.
Our whole marriage.
That's wild. I wanted to ask you. You worked with Boyd for so long.
Yeah.
I know he's not really traveling anymore with you.
Yeah.
You got Chris is a little bit in the mix now.
That's right.
Has that been tough? Different?
Like I've officially, like on a business level, ended my relationship with Boyd because Boyd's one of my best friends.
Yeah.
Our relationship, I think, is a lot deeper than just what we do on the golf course. He's someone I respect, and he's just become one of my closest friends that I truly trust. You know?
Right.
Having that conversation with him was hard, but it was one of like gratitude more than anything else of what we feel like
What a
we were
run.
able to accomplish. You know, we're together 10 years, and we feel like we did some really special things together. And Boyd, I would say, was a guy that told me I could be a top 10 player in the world at a time where maybe even I wasn't in the mind space to believe that. I had been chasing PGA Tour so long that I started to forget who I thought I could be, and I think I started to forget that I played this because I wanted to be the best player in the world. And Boyd reminded me very fast in our very first lesson that we had together that he saw that in me, and it ended up being the roots of the foundation of our whole relationship. He was the guy that just believed in me.
He believed in you. Yeah, that's super important.
When I don't think that a lot of people did at that time. Not a lot of people knew who I was. If you follow in the golf world, you probably did. But yeah, obviously things changed over the next 10 years.
Interesting. Wow.
Go.
What a golf shot. So I'm an LA guy.
Yeah.
You're an LAGC sort of guy.
Yeah.
Was that fun doing a little like 10-day?
It was super fun. It was cooler and better than I anticipated. I had watched and thought there's some cool elements to it, and thought it was pretty exciting. I think it's something you got to experience like in person.
Yeah.
Being there at SoFi and seeing what they're doing, and then I think being involved in a good match was nice.
Yeah. That's close.
It was close at the end, and we ended up pulling it off. And so, obviously, winning is fun. So.
We got to get you on a squad next year.
I think it's really important to know where the grain's going.
Yeah.
Because if you're chipping into the grain, you know it's going to stop pretty fast. If you're chipping down grain, you know it's going to skip. So this one just looks like it's crossed, so it shouldn't do anything too crazy. I usually like knowing how many paces it's on.
Yeah.
So it's 15 paces on, and I'm kind of, when there's a shadow there, there's this little sun area that I'm trying to pitch this ball to.
I see it right in the middle of the shadow.
Yeah, that's kind of the spot there. So I'll just try to zone in on that spot. Should kick left and then straighten out towards the hole. I actually hit it pretty close to where I was trying to.
I thought so too. I was like, that's pretty close to the spot.
And
checked out.
Pitched into, so that might be a little pro-am job. I kind of just peeked. I didn't really.
You weren't
I didn't
committed?
really do full commitment and homework because I actually pitched that pretty close to where I wanted, and it's 15 feet short. So.
Pros make bogeys too, Johnny. Pros make bogeys too. That broke a streak of probably 4 birdies in a row on this one hole this series. It's okay. We said pros make bogeys too,
Yeah, that's right.
especially at Bay Hill.
That's right.
It's a par 5 anyway.
Yeah. Par 5 today.
We just sprinted to get here, Johnny, but we made it. We're on the 9th tee. I gotta catch my breath a little bit with Akshay. What are we looking at here on this tee shot?
Long, and you just got to hit in the fairway.
That's kind of the story of Bay Hill, isn't it?
Yep. I'm Akshay Bhatia. Come play a hole with me.
So is that the stock one, or is that kind of a doctored one for this hole?
Low. Into the wind, I mean, I just try and get it down, hopefully straight.
It's interesting because I feel like most modern guys, younger guys, have like one shot that they just kind of hit. You're a little old school.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like I try and hit so many different shots, and my kind of DNA is curving it a lot with driver especially, and so when I have this fairway where it's like pretty wide open, there's no like tree trouble to start the hole, I feel like I can just kind of squeeze it, kind of get it out there.
So you go for the low one when you feel like you need to find a fairway.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you've always been someone who kind of sees shots.
Yeah, I mean, growing up, I used to mimic everyone's golf swing. So
Okay.
like Bubba, Freddie, Sergio, Phil, like everyone. And so I think that's where the creative side kind of came out for me.
Bubba. So you ever get the, like that finish?
Oh
where
yeah,
it's
I mean, I would just freaking, release it or just hold it. I pretty much did that anytime whoever was leading the golf tournament for the week.
So, I mean, you got out here so young, it must be pretty cool because you were like a golf nerd growing up and you get to play against all the guys that you grew up watching.
Yeah, no, it's pretty crazy. I obviously played a lot of practice rounds with Phil, and so it's just pretty nuts. Like,
Yeah.
this is my life, and I'm one of the guys now.
Yeah, you are. I feel like you've probably played with most of these guys now, like in tournaments.
Yeah.
Play with Rory, play with
I haven't
Scotty.
played with Rory. Play with Scotty. Play with Xander a lot. Haven't played with like Patrick Hanley or anything, but
Maybe in September to get to play with all of them on a team.
yeah.
Thinking about that at all?
Not really, no. I mean, my goal is to play well in the majors, and so playing well there, it kind of takes care of the Ryder Cup.
Starting to feel, I mean, I know it's still new, but you've been out here for a couple of years now. Starting to feel like you've seen places before, you know what to expect.
Yeah, I mean, this is the one place I really haven't played, so. But
This is your first time in this event?
Mhm.
Okay.
So, overall, though, yeah, I mean, I feel like I've played almost every tournament, it's crazy to me. My path was so different, and now with PGA Tour U, it's just, it's not easier, but you have an easier pathway, and so I learned it the hard way for sure. It was a grind. I missed every cut when I first turned pro, and then COVID happened, and then didn't get through Q school, and even PGA Tour Canada, I had conditional, like I didn't even get full status there, and then, somehow found my way here a couple years later. So it's pretty nuts. The story of my journey so far in pro golf is definitely interesting, to say the least.
Did you have some moments, I mean, you were so young, everyone was telling you take your time, but did you ever have a moment where you were like, man, I don't know about this?
Not really.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I think hindsight, I think COVID was really good for me because I did get to take a step back, and I didn't feel like I had to, perform and try and get my card. And it was a year like Matt Wolf got his card, and Victor, and
and Colin. So like I'm turning pro a couple months later, like man, I gotta
High
feel like
standards.
I gotta do something, but they're so much older than me, but I just never realized it. And so eventually I was good enough to get out here. It was just a matter of time, and thankfully I had the starts, and you know I had the opportunities to kind of learn at the biggest stage, and kind of how I go about my days now.
I got a lesson from Genghis a couple weeks
Saw
ago.
that.
Sick. I'm back.
Get your posture right.
He's got me. Well, so his thing is he always draws lines like from the armpit,
Yeah.
and so I was like way out here trying to be like Adam Scott,
Yeah.
and it was hurting my back, and I couldn't turn.
He hates it.
He hates that. So he's got me. We said that our feel was like I just got shot in the chest. I'm like this, and,
Oh, yeah.
and then I'm up and stamping down. I love it.
Yeah.
Every time I go see him, I just like leave with a smile on my face. He's such a
Oh,
character.
he's such a good person. I would love to switch bodies with him and see what is going on inside of his head all night, all day. It's pretty.
He's a big voice note guy. I'll send him a message and he's like, "What's up, G?
Yeah.
Nah, you come by whenever you want." It's like he could have just texted me, but
Yeah.
he clearly doesn't have time for the text messages. Wow, Trackman out of the bunker.
Oh yeah.
That is a tour sauce move if I've ever seen one before. I don't know if I've ever seen that before.
I mean, my coach and I, we do this every day, every week. All us have TrackMan on the course, just trying to figure out, you know, how much it's getting hurt, and then if we have similar, then we kind of, you know, have a better understanding.
You are young enough where you kind of always had like that kind of information around to you, or did you grow up without it?
I mean, I never grew up, you know, wealthy enough to
Right.
have these things, but pretty much once I turned pro, I have more of the resources, and so my dad sacrificed everything for me to, you know, afford certain things and buy me every type of equipment. So I've been doing this for 6 years, just always doing data stuff.
Yeah, you use a lot of tech.
Yeah.
Like, what about like for strategy? Do you use do you look at like different breakdowns of the holes?
No, that's where I draw a line, because different wind directions and, you know, different conditions, you just don't know how certain shots are going to play.
Do you have a favorite course out here yet on tour?
I love Weichel.
Okay, old school.
Old school. It's just fun golf course.
Bunch of dog legs.
Yeah, and then I think Quail Hollow is such a good place. I mean, it's so mint every time we show up.
It's like a little mini Augusta.
Yeah.
Not even mini. It's just same conditioning.
Yeah, and then I really enjoyed playing the Open last year, even though I missed the cut.
Troon?
Yeah.
That's an old school golf course.
I mean, it is so different over there. It's so fun. So maybe, I mean, this golf course is iconic too.
Yeah.
You know, just being here is, you feel the presence of the king himself. You
Totally.
know?
Totally. You said that you were really focusing on playing well in the majors this year. Was there something that you did last year that you felt like wasn't the right preparation, or?
I just felt like I would get to a point where I'm close to contention, and then I just have sort of this drop off of, you know, making a couple bogeys in a row or making a double, and it's just the worst feeling, because I felt like, man, I was there, and then, you know, I end up finishing 30th or missing the cut. I just know how close I am to.
You feel
really
like the game is there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just cleaning up a couple mental errors, and you have to be so focused every shot. And once you lose that little bit of focus, the bogey's right there, and then you feel like, man, I'm out of it.
Totally. What's up, guys? Dan here from the home studio. Obviously forgot to film an outro. I get excited out there. If you get excited too about these videos, the Inside the Ropes, bringing you close to the action, like the video, subscribe to the Dan on Golf channel. We're going to keep doing this. I'll be back at the Players Championship next week. We'll bring you more Inside the Ropes content. Thanks, guys.